Hello guys, and welcome to this new Tableau project. In this video, we are going to create the following dashboard which represents COVID-19 cases in India. Throughout this video, I will first explain to you how to work with several data sources because we are going to use 6 CSV files plus shapefile. I will explain to you how to create a map using shapefile and how to use data blending. And also, as you can see here on the right, we have multiple line chart which represent COVID cases by state. I will explain to you how to use the measure values in order to create the following graph using dual axis. And also, I'm going to create different charts that you can see here on the following image, like donut chart, stacked bar chart, and horizontal bar charts. So let's start first by downloading the CSV files on Kaggle and the shapefile. So the different links are available in the description. The first link is about the dataset. As you can see here, we have COVID-19 in India. And if we scroll down, we have here 3 files. So we have statewide testing details.csv, COVID-19 India.csv, and COVID vaccine statewide.csv. So to download the files, we click on the first one and we download in here. So I have already downloaded the files. I'm not going to do that again. Okay. You do the same thing for the second. You download and you do the same thing for the third one. Okay. Next, you have to download 3 other files. So you go to this Jupyter notebook, right? So COVID-19 explained through visualizations, and the link is available also in the description. And you scroll down to COVID-19 in India. As you can see, we have COVID-19 India downloaded, statewide testing detail downloaded, and here you can download 3 other files. So we have age group detail. Okay, you click on download. Then you have ICMR testing labs, same thing, you download it, and individual details. Okay, so like that we get the 6 CSV files that we are going to use in our dashboard. Next, for the shapefile, so same thing, for the link it is available in description, and you scroll down to Indian state shapefile. Okay, so you click here and it will be downloaded automatically. So like that we are ready to create our visualizations. So first we are going to import COVID-19 India file. Okay, so you click on more, and here we have the CSV file. Okay, as you can see here, it has 9 fields, which means 9 columns and 3063 rows. So we have the date, we have the time, state, union, territory, confirmed Indian national, confirmed foreign national, and you have also cured deaths and confirmed, right? So we go to a worksheet, and as we have said, we want to create a map, right? So we call it map total deaths by state. Here we have state as geographical data, so we double click on it, and as you can see here, there are 40 values that have unknown geographic locations. So Tableau does not recognize the different states in India. In order to create our map, we are going to use the shapefile. So you click on data, new data source, you can click on more, and you import your shapefile. Okay, so it has 3 columns. We have the name, we have the type, and we have the geometry. In order to create our map, we are going to use what we call data blending, right? We go to data, edit blend relationship, custom, add. As we have said, in the first file we have state and union. In the second file it is name. So you click on OK. OK. Now we are going to remove state union, latitude and longitude. We'll double click on geometry, right? It will give us the different states. Okay. We click on COVID-19 India. We drag and drop state into label, right? And the deaths into color. As you can see here, we have the sum of deaths, which is represented as a map, right? So as you can see here, we have the map of the different states that represent the sum of deaths. And we have created that using shapefile and data blending. We can change the color into, for example, red. So we can change it into, for example, red gold, right? Apply, OK. And we can change its format. So format shading, we're going to put it in gray, right? For the map, we're going to use background as dark. Okay. And for the title, we are going to edit the title. It will be bold in white. Apply. Okay. We're going to add the border. All right. And the same thing for the map. As you can see here, it has already the border, right? So format, border, the header. Okay, great. So like that, we have our map, which represents the total deaths by state. Next, we are going to create multiple line chart. In this multiple line chart, we are going to have the deaths, the confirmed, and the cured, right? So click on new worksheet, and we are going to use COVID-19 India, right? We drag and drop date into columns, exact date, right? And if we drag and drop confirmed into rows, it will give us one line. Cured to the second, it will give us another row. And deaths into the third, it will give us a third row. If we are going to use dual axis, it will give us two in the same graph and one separately. So we still have two rows. One technique is that we can use the measure names in the filters, right? So we drag and drop measure names into filters and we select three values that we want. So we want the three values. We select apply, okay. We take the measure values into the rows. And as you can see here, when we drag and drop measure names into colors, it will give us three different line chart in the same graph. But the same thing here, we have the value of this. It is very low comparing to the value of the confirmed cases, right? So what we are going to do is that we are going to modify our filter, right? We select only confirmed and cured since they have approximately the same value. Apply, okay. We take deaths into the rows and we click on dual axis. So here we have confirmed and cured, right? So we write confirmed and cured, right? And here we have the deaths. We have approximately the same shape, but for the deaths, it does not have the same values as the confirmed. Okay, we can change the colors. So edit color, for example, deaths, we put it in red, cured, we put it in green, and confirmed, put it in orange, right? Apply, okay. We're gonna remove the title. So we put here COVID cases by state. And we add our state into the filters, right? So we select, for example, one, apply, okay. So show filter, single value drop down, and here we are going to remove our title, right? Go and change the title, so COVID without an E, and it is represented for each state. Okay, we can select all, right? And we have the confirmed and cured in one axis and deaths in another axis, but they have the same shape. We are going to format our worksheet. So write shading, same thing as the first one. So we remove the grid lines for the rows. We change it for the sheet into bold, white, and 10. Okay. Same thing for the title. Put it in the middle, white, bold, apply, okay. Format title. We add the border. Same thing for the worksheet. We are going to add the border. So we put everything in white, right? White. Very nice. Here we can change it into black. Okay. So like that, we get our COVID cases by state and everything is displayed in a multiple line chart. Okay. Next, we are going to create a horizontal bar chart about the first and second dose administered. So we select new worksheet, data, new data source, more, and you import the COVID vaccine state-wise, right? As you can see here, we have updated on state, total dose administered, sessions. So in total, we have 24 fields, all right? And now we are going to visualize first and second dose administered, right? So we write first vas, second dose administered, right? And same thing, we drag and drop measure names into filters, none. So we select first and second, apply, okay. So we have here the measure names, we double click and we select the measure names into the columns, right? So we can swap that and we can change the alias. So edit alias, right? So we let only first, same thing in here, we let only second, okay. Here we are going to modify the title, so remove title. We can select, for example, entire view, right? The color, we are going to put it in green. We can add the measure values into the label. And we can format our worksheet. So format, shading, put it as gray, right? For the grid lines, none. For the sheet, it will be bold 10 in white. Same thing for the title, put it in the middle, white, bold, apply, okay. We're going to format that. We add the border, and same thing, we are going to add the border for our worksheet. So put everything in white, right? White, white, and white. So like that, we get our horizontal bar chart. Same thing, next we are going to create another horizontal bar chart which represents the total doses administered by the vaccine, right? So we write new worksheet and doses administered by the vaccine, right? Same thing, we drag and drop measure names into the filters. So none, we select Covaxin, Covishield, and we have Sputnik, right? Apply, okay. So we have here measure values, double click, and we select the measure names into the columns, right? We go and swap that. Same thing, edit the alias, right? Second one. And the third one. Okay. Same thing, we remove value. We select entire view. The color, it will be in green. We're going to sort that. And we add the measure values into the label. We are going to format our worksheet. So we add our shading. We remove the grid lines for the columns. So the font, it will be bold, white, and 10. We add our border, right? So put everything in white. White. And we format our title. So put it in the middle, white, bold. Apply, okay. Format title, we add our border. And like that, we get our horizontal bar chart. Next, we are going to import the age group details file, right? So we select new worksheet and you click on data, new data source, more, and you open age group details, right? As you can see here, we have 4 fields and 10 rows. So we have the age group, total cases, and the percentage. So we write here age group details, right? We select the age group into the color. We select pie, and we drag and drop total cases into the size. We can increase the width and the height of the chart, right? So I'm going to create a donut chart, and to do that, we double click on rows. We write 0. We can duplicate this one. We remove everything from the second, so the size it will be smaller, and this one we put it like bigger like this. Okay, and here we put dual axis, right? Okay, now we can select the entire view. We can drag and drop the age group into label, same thing, sum into label, and we can create the percent of total. Okay, so here we have the different age categories. We can hide the legend, right? Same thing in here. And we are going to format our worksheet. So we start by the axis, title, remove title, tick marks, none. Same thing in here. So we remove the title, tick marks, none. Right, we click on format, shading. We put the worksheet in the following color. And we go to the second one, we change it into the same color. Okay. Next, we are going to remove the 0 lines, right? And for the borders, we are going to select for the header, it will be in white, and column divider, it will be none. Okay, we're going to put the font in 10, right, like that. And we are going to modify our title. Bold. Apply, okay. Format title, and we put the border. Okay, so like that we get the age group details as a donut chart. Next, we are going to import the individual details file, right? So write data, new data source, more. So get here our data. As you can see here, we have 12 fields, and we are going to only use the gender column. So to do that, we click on here to create a new worksheet. So write gender without missing values, right? We drag and drop the gender into the filters, right? And we only select males and females. Apply, okay. We put gender into color. We select pie, same thing into the size, and we select the count. We put it in the label, and gender, same thing in label, and for the count it will be the percent of total. We can increase the width and the height of the chart, right? We double click on rows, write 0, okay, then duplicate that. We remove everything from the second one. We increase its size a little bit, and this one we increase it a little bit like that. So we have dual axis, and we select the entire view. So we remove hide card, and here we are going to modify the alias, right? So for the gender, we select aliases. So for F we write female, and for M we write male. Okay. For the color, we can choose, for example, green. Apply, okay. And we are going to format our worksheet. So we start by the axis. We remove the title. We remove the text. We do the same thing for the second one. Okay, we're going to format shading. So we select that. Same thing for the color of the second one. I'm going to remove the 0 line. Same thing we add the header in white and remove the column divider. We select bold white 10 and we do the same thing for the title. So put it in the middle, white and bold. Apply, okay. We add our border, and like that we get our gender without missing values as a donut chart. Next we are going to import the ICMR testing labs file, right? So new worksheet, data, new data source, more, and here we get our file. So we have ICMR testing labs, and we are going to create the total labs in each state. So right here, ICMR testing labs in each state. So we take state, we put it in rows, and we take the lab and put it in the column, right? So we have here measure count, and we can sort that. We can also drag and drop the count into label. We can increase, so we click on format, cell size, so taller. We remove height field labels for rows. Same thing for the axis, so I'm going to remove the title. For the color, we can put it in green. And we are going to format our worksheet. So format, shading. Okay. We are going to remove grid lines for the column. Same thing for the sheet. We are going to use bold white and 10. We are going to put everything in the center, or for the pen we set it as automatic, right? Then we add our border, so we put everything in white. Okay, great. And we are going to modify our title, so we put it in white, bold, apply, okay. And we are going to add the border in white. Okay, so like that we get the horizontal bar chart for the ICMR testing labs in each state. Next we are going to create calculated field, so we call this sheet title, and we click here on create calculated field. So we write title, and we write the title of our dashboard, which is COVID-19 in India dashboard analysis. Okay, so like that we have our title of our dashboard. Apply, okay. So we drag and drop title into text, hide title, and we increase it like that, okay. Can also format, for example we put it like in 24. Okay, so shading it will be in gray, and the color it will be bold in white, so it will be in the center. Okay, great. So here we have the title of our dashboard. We can also add the border, for example, for the cell. Okay, great. All right. Now we are going to import our final file, which is state-wise testing details. So new state-wise. So state-wise testing details. And we click on data. So new data source, more. And here we get our file. Okay. So we are going to create a horizontal stacked bar chart that will give us the total samples, the negative and the positive ones, right? So click on state-wise testing details, measure names into the filters. So we have negative, positive, and total samples. Apply, okay. And we have here the measure values in each state. Okay, so I'm going to take the state, put it in columns, then swap, right? And we drag and drop measure names into the colors. We can change the colors. So edit color, total samples, for example, in blue, positive put it in red, and negative put it in green. Apply. Okay. Or we can change it into, for example, total samples into orange. Apply. Okay. For one null filter data, we're going to modify the cell size, so taller. Same thing in here, we hide the field. Here we hide the title, and here we remove value. Okay, great. We're going to format our worksheet. Okay, shading, we put it in this color, right? Grid lines for the columns, none. For the sheet, it will be bold white 10, and we add our borders. So we put everything in white. Okay, great. For the alignment, we put it in the middle, in the center. Same thing in here in the center. We can increase it a little bit. We can also drag and drop measure values into the label. Okay, and we are going to format our title. So format border. Okay, so put it in the middle, white and bold. Apply. Okay, so like that we get our different samples using horizontal stacked bar chart. Now we can create our dashboard. So we click on new dashboard, we define our size. Okay, and we start by dragging and dropping all the worksheets. So start by the map, we change the, so we format dashboard and change its shading into our color, right? Next we have COVID cases, so multiplying chart. So after that we have first and second dose administrated, put it in here. Next we have the age group, gender. Next we have the ICMR testing labs, we can put it in here, right? Okay, change like that. Next we have our title, we put it in here, right? Hide title, and we put it like that. Okay, state-wise, we have state-wise testing details, right? So put it in here. Now we are going to format that and we arrange our worksheets. So start by death, we put it as Florin, right? And we put it here in the map. Same thing in here, floating, we put it inside COVID cases by state. And same thing for the legend. This one also, we put it in float in, and we put it inside the horizontal stacked bar chart. All right, so we remove the section of the filters. Okay, great. We increase the width of our title. All right, same thing in here. Okay, and now we import the doses administered by vaccine and put it in here. Okay, great. We can increase its size a little bit. Okay, so we go to the worksheet. So size, increase it a little bit. And same thing for the first one, we increase its size like that. Okay, so we get here the donut chart with the required size. Okay, we can adjust it in here like that. We put it inside our chart. Same thing for the second one. Okay, like that. And for this we put it inside. Okay, we can format legends, so we add the border in white and it will be bold in the center. Okay, so here we have the this. Same thing for the one in the multiple line chart. So format legends, the border we add it in white and it will be in the center. Okay, so just increase it like that. Alright, so I'm going to adjust like that and increase its width. Okay, same thing here. We are going to format, add the border which will be in white, and the font same thing in white. Increase it like this. So I'm going to adjust it like that. I'm going to increase the width and the height. Okay, so like that we get the filter and the legend formatted, right? So here we can change the sizes. For example, we decrease this one like that. Same thing for this one, and same thing for the map. So we move this in here. Okay, we can increase it like that. All right, great. So we can also modify this one, put it in here, format legends, right? Border, put it in white. Okay, great. Can just change, rearrange that. Okay, so normally like that we get our final dashboard, and if we select presentation mode we get our dashboard. You can also export your dashboard as an image by clicking on dashboard and export image. So that's it for the COVID-19 in India dashboard analysis. I hope that you have learned new things. Thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorial.